Like, yeah, we're recording now. Just say it, just so I know. Like, not that I'm just like staring at the camera like a stunned mullet. Like,
Alright, we're actually recording now, as of that outburst.
yeah, what?
As of the outburst, I started recording. I'm not editing this.
Wow.
Welcome to the PIXL
All right,
Podcast,
well,
boys, episode 1.
just interrupt you. All right.
Sorry.
Well, I was gonna say that.
Oh,
All right.
go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
No. We're abbreviating it to the PP. Just
Alright, don't.
that's what we're doing.
Alright, let's look. The point of this podcast, we're moving on from that. I'm not even gonna. Nah, we're not even gonna go on through it.
Why not?
Because I don't want to go through what PP means. The PIXL Podcast. Don't ruin this for us, Glenn. Just let this flow and ebb, you know?
All right. No. Fine. That's fine.
It's fun, right? So pretty much, we are the owners of PIXL. We started it. We figured we figured we'd start this one to sort of show everyone who we are, who Glenn is, who I am, how we know each other, and kind of get everyone involved, get different people on. Just talk about esports in general. No specific game, I guess. Maybe we have like game days, like Monday
Game days.
Monday Overwatch, Thursday Fortnite, Friday whatever. I don't know. Throwing ideas out there.
Yeah, I mean, we could do something. I don't know.
Anyway, so this is going to be like an introduction to who we are. So Glenn, we've been through the questions a little bit. I don't have answers.
Kind of.
I assume you don't
Neither
have
do I.
answers.
Not really. No.
Introduce
I
yourself.
I got like a vague idea, but
Just
yeah, nothing like concrete.
written down next to my Overwatch coaching notes.
I mean, at least you have the questions in front of you. I don't even have all the questions in front of me. So like,
I'm never going to send you any of the questions. You're just going to have to
I
work
know.
with me. Alright, who are you, my dude? Who are you to the people? Tell the people who you are.
Who am I? My name is Glenn.
Hi, Glenn.
Hello. No, but I co-own PIXL Esports with Choco. Some people might know as Chris, but
Whoa, leaks.
leaks. And yeah, some people might know me as just Glenn, but it's pretty much the same thing. Just call me Glenn. I don't really care.
Just call you Glenn.
But
Streaming on Twitch.
yeah, Fortnite player, streaming on Twitch, and yeah, just trying to see kind of like how that goes and where that goes.
Sword.
What about you, Chris?
Nice. Thanks. Oh, my name's
Introduce
Choco,
yourself.
Chris, whatever you want. Overwatch coach for PIXL. I was coaching Jam. Then before that was Alter Ego. I've retired from the Overwatch contender scene, played one game, fed incredibly well. So, we lost that 4-0. Sorry, guys. Just kind of, I don't know. Not much to say, really. Just kind of got onto that 9 to 5 grind. Hate it. Decided to make something. Decided to go pretty much balls deep with it. See how we go.
Language.
Really?
Jeez.
Language balls.
Yeah.
Nah, it's fine. It's fine.
It's what it means, Chris. All right.
Yeah, balls deep, dude. Anyway, so
All right.
I actually want to start with this question because I don't know the answer to it. But like, why did you start gaming, or how did you start gaming? How did you get into it? Like, what was your first
How
game?
did I start?
What got you? What got you to do it?
This question actually came up when I was playing with like the Fortnite team as well. I kind of went through it, yeah. But like, pretty much like when I don't know, I was like 4 or 5. My dad had like a Super Nintendo, and I remember playing like it was like Yoshi's Island or something like that. I'd literally sit there for like hours just playing that.
The OGs.
And goddamn,
What did I
getting messages while trying to talk about this. Yeah. Anyway, and then from there it kind of moved into like Nintendo 64. Bought a whole bunch of games for that. Like that was like Pokemon Snap, Pokemon Stadium,
What a
and
game
that kind
Pokemon
of
Stadium was, dude. I actually
like
loved it.
yeah, dude, it was a great game, and I had like all the Pokemon games on like Game Boy and everything like that as well. Um, from there, I went to Xbox, and this is where like it kicked off for me, like big time. Like I spent like a lot of time playing games. Was um, when I first got the Xbox, and they do those deals where you get like 2 or 3 games with the console, and one of those games was Halo, and Halo was like revolutionary at the time, like kind of like a standard for how like first person shooters should be played from now on, kind of thing. And I played that Halo 1, Halo 2, got an Xbox 360, moved into Halo 3, um, got like Call of Duty, Modern Warfare 1, um, and since then it's just like kicked off. And then I pretty much moved away from console completely and went to computer, saved up like a ridiculous amount of money. Like to me, it was a ridiculous amount of money, but I just kind of wanted to have like this gaming setup where I wouldn't have to change it for a while, and I could just add to it whenever I wanted. And that's exactly what this like computer for me has done so far. And like I've just been getting into multiple different games from there as well, like League of Legends, um, like Overwatch, PUBG, Fortnite now. And I guess that's kind of where my competitiveness came from as well. Starting from like League of Legends and Overwatch, I kind of got really competitive from there, and started moving into the esports scene through like Overwatch, and then that's kind of how it like all started for me, I guess. But
How far did you end up getting in Overwatch? Like, what was your? 'Cause you were pretty up there.
I got to like 3,700, so
That's
like that's mid masters.
pretty good.
Yeah.
That's actually not bad. That's like low contenders, high open div level. Easily.
Yeah,
That's right.
but yeah. I tried out for like a few teams and stuff like that. I got into one, and then they kind of just disbanded.
Welcome to the OCE scene, dude.
Yeah, I know, from what I've heard.
Oh,
But
God.
yeah, from there I just moved into like other games until I found something that was like fit me, kind of thing. And I think Fortnite's the first game in a while that's kind of like hit me as one of those games that's going to be like revolutionary in a way, I guess. But
Revolutionary, like as in the way it's played, or like
yeah, like battle royales were all like just too RNG, way too RNG for any kind of competitive play.
yeah.
Um,
Isn't Fortnite kind of the same?
yeah, Fortnite's the same, but there's like the building aspect. So
Yeah. Okay.
um,
There's still like
you can be like, I don't know, have the worst positioning or whatever, but if your mechanics are like godlike, then you can still win like a lot of your games.
I get you. You carry your way out of it, kind of thing.
Yeah, you see some people that play in squads and they have 100% win rates over 100 games or whatever, and that's not something that is like easy to replicate in like PUBG or any other battle royale. So it's definitely different.
Yeah. Okay. I feel you. No, I feel you. That's good. I like that.
So like I just in saying that, all I mean is that Fortnite in a competitive scene it's possible for one team to be so good that they can win every single game, whereas like in a lot of other battle royale games it's just not possible.
Yeah. Okay. Like PUBG
Yeah.
is just too alert. Actually, yeah. Actually, I kind of see like when I see the PUBG results come out, I kind of see a lot of teams be like first, 24th, third.
Yeah.
It's like doesn't really make sense. I mean, that's still like that sounds like it's still yeah. Okay, I get what you're saying though. You can't really like. It's just pure aim and luck basically on like PUBG.
Yeah.
I suppose there's some
Which
strategy
like
in it though.
yeah, there's still definitely some strategy to it to try and like reduce your RNG chances or whatever. But
At the end of the day, you could still land someone with
yeah,
no guns or something.
or you can do that in like Fortnite as well. But it's just like once you get past that first initial part of having no guns or whatever, then like just depending on how good you are, you can win like almost every single game.
Yeah, okay. As in just through like getting materials and building your way around it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Hoping you find something.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, okay. No, that makes sense. That makes sense. And last thing I was going to say is we've got a Fortnite team now.
Yes.
Who is on that bad boy? Because we struggled a little bit for players for a while there.
Yeah, so I mean like when I started this thing with you, like you know this, but like I kind of said that I wanted to focus on like actually playing and being a player.
Yeah.
More so than like running a company or anything like that. But so I've just like been grinding hard, trying to get like as good as possible. And trying to kind of like achieve that. But like we've both said to each other that like if I ever get to a point where I'm just not that good anymore or anything like that, I'll step down and grab someone else who can fulfill the role like a lot better than what I can. I think that's fair. Like,
yeah.
I
mean, I'd
if I'm, yeah, well, all right.
Only if you're not good enough. Only if you're not good enough.
Oh, all right.
Sorry, dude.
I'm glad you're not on the Overwatch team anymore as well. Jeez.
Wow, dude.
Yeah, that's right. I said it.
Hey, leave me. Just, I hit diamond. All right, move on.
No, you know I love you.
Leave me alone.
But
yeah,
I'm willing to step down like whenever. Like, and I've already like contemplated it just due to like time restraints with work and everything like that. So it's definitely something I'm looking into and considering. But at the moment, there's me, player named Serpent, player named Hype. Not sure if he wants to go by Daddy Hype or just Hype, but we'll just leave it at Hype for now.
Daddy Hype, dude.
Dude, I don't know.
I'm pretty sure that's what's in his Twitter banner.
Yeah, but he wanted it on his Twitter banner. He wanted Daddy Hype, but now in game he's changed his name to Hype, just Hype.
I'm not changing. I'm not changing the Twitter banner.
Yeah,
it's to stick with Daddy Hype.
Agreed.
No,
and we just recently picked up another player named Sambu.
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 That's good. And like we've been doing alright, haven't we?
Yeah, like everyone's like solid, like all solid in their own right.
Huge fan.
I think in scrims, most of the non-recorded scrims, we hit like anywhere from first to third, like almost most games. Like if it was out of 10, I reckon we'd win maybe like we'd come first maybe like 4 or 5 times, and then hit second and third most of the other times. So
that's pretty good. Actually, that's really good.
But recorded scrims, I'm never there for pretty much because I have work, which obviously sucks. But yeah, I don't think we've done like particularly too well in recorded scrims so far. I think we've gotten like 1 first place or something, or 2.
Yeah, but we're always playing with like a ringer.
If that. Yeah, always playing with a ringer.
Yeah, I feel you. That's fair enough. And then sort of, so we kind of know you got involved into like esports through Overwatch. Did you talk about that? Yeah, you did. That's fun. So like, what like actually made you like go competitive there? Like, what gave you that kick in the butt to kind of be like, let's just actually like let's go for it kind of thing.
I mean, just doing it like competing at a high level from the get-go.
Mm.
Like I think I from like one season I got from like gold to master, and getting to that point was like I saw a huge improvement myself in the way like I approached the game in general, and I loved that. And I loved like trying, pushing myself in different ways and stuff, and just being competitive in general. So that was huge for me. I actually like really enjoyed it.
Like the grind.
So yeah, like yeah, pretty much the grind. Really enjoyed the grind, and watching myself improve.
Right,
And
gold to masters, that's like a massive leap. Like,
yeah, that was in one season.
How do you do that? Like, actually, like, help a brother out. Give me some tips. I'm sick
It's
of
just
being
like
sick of being bullied by the boys.
it's just like practicing certain mechanics and all that sort of stuff. Like I played DPS and literally sat in the training grounds or whatever, shooting robots like for an hour before I even started playing. And then after all my games, I'd sit in the training ground shooting robots for another hour, just practicing my aim over and over and over again for like all the champions that I played. So like Soldier, McCree, Hanzo, um, Tracer, and all that sort of stuff.
All
Just
the hit scan guys.
yeah, pretty much anyone that I ever use for um, like DPS, I just go in and just practice.
Yeah.
So that was like almost 2 hours most days, just in the training grounds practicing, and then I'd spend like another few hours every day just in competitive games, essentially. So that practicing that got me from like gold to diamond like really quickly, and then the grind from diamond to master was like a lot slower, but I still managed to get it done in like a season. So
yeah. And then from like the next season, it was just like masters to higher masters, basically.
yeah, I think. I can't remember if I got 3700 in that season or not, but
Yeah, I getcha.
yeah, I'm not too sure.
No, it's sick, dude. So it's basically just like having a focused plan.
Yeah, but yeah, that's definitely what got me into enjoying esports for what it is. And I definitely wanted to do, like, I want to do something like that, as a job. Like, I guess you could say that that would be like my end goal.
As in play game, like play competitively.
Play competitively, or like be in that scene, be in the esports scene.
Do something around gaming, around
Yeah,
esports.
definitely.
Dude, the dream.
Where I can actually, you know, still like have my day revolve around playing games, or being able to do that, at a high level all the time.
I feel you, dude. Support, like, yeah, okay. I get you, dude.
Yeah.
Hopefully one day. Hopefully one day we can start getting you paid.
Yeah. Yeah, hopefully one day I can quit my job, maybe.
It's the dream. Just quit anyway. Do what I did. Just quit.
Yeah, just quit.
Just quit and be a bum for a while.
Can't, dude. Got things to pay. I don't know how you did it. Didn't you just buy a car?
Yeah. That's okay though. We'll sort that out.
Does the bank know that you're quitting?
Well, I work.
Did you take a loan out?
Yeah, but not only from like. Fuck, we're getting pretty deep into my personal.
All right. No, all right. We'll stop. Right.
That's it. Jesus.
All right. Yeah, we'll keep it. We'll keep it on.
What's your
track,
BSB
right?
and account number? What's your PayPal username? Give me the passwords to everything.
I mean, you could do that if you want.
No, don't take my RuneScape gold, dude. No, I don't need that in my life. Now that you're sort of like, here's my next question though. Now that you're kind of involved a little bit more in esports, obviously like, it hasn't been massive. I don't know if you know how many people you kind of because it's kind of weird. We're kind of split. Like, I got the Overwatch side, you got the Fortnite side. Over on like your side of the world, even though it's pretty much the same side. Who's like so far? Who's the best person that you've met? Like maybe given you advice or like done something for you, whether it be like in PIXL, outside of PIXL, before PIXL, anything like that? What are you feeling? Even like don't that maybe they're not even involved in esports. They just said something to you to do with esports, and it was just like, you know,
Um,
like it's pretty heavy.
I don't know.
Don't know.
I mean, the first person who kind of helped me with like esports teams and stuff like that was a player named Virginia, who
Virginia.
is on our own team. So as fate would have it, he now plays for PIXL.
Right. Tell that story, dude. I haven't heard this full story yet.
I mean, it's not much of a story. It's just like I came across him in one of the games, and I'm pretty sure he was playing on a Smurf account or something. I'm not too sure. But I heard him like over talking.
Spread the jam.
I don't know. He was like he was talking to someone else he knew that was on our team about scrim games or something like that. And I was just like, shit, like I want to be in on that. Like, pretty much said like straight up, like I want to be in on like these scrim games. Like what team do you play for? Like how do I get involved? All that sort of stuff. And he gave me like the link to Discord, told me pretty much exactly what to do and all that sort of stuff. And that's when I started trying for different teams and everything like that. So that's kind of like what got me into like the professional Overwatch scene, I guess you could say.
The one at a time kind of thing.
Yeah, the one at a time.
Yeah. This is all before contenders, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's before Overwatch League, anything like that. Like,
yeah,
this is when everything was just like starting up.
That's nutty. I actually like. I have heard a little bit of that story, but like every time, like I love it. I love the fact that like Virginia gave you advice and like what? How long has it been? Like six months since that happened, or a year?
Over a year, I think.
Easily
over a year.
And then it's just like, dude, like that.
Yeah, I still remember his name because like I saw his name like when you first brought the Overwatch team into PIXL. I saw his name. I was just like, no way. I was like, no way is it the same person.
I
looked in my friends list on Discord, and there he is. I was just like, holy shit, it's the same person.
Same guy. Dude.
I said that to you straight away as well.
I remember that. I remember you saying back. I remember you being like, I know that guy. I'm like, nah, no way, dude. No way you know that guy. Like that's actually pretty nutty. Like makes me think like some of the guys in the Overwatch scene have been around for so long, just grinding it out. Like some people are really fucking dedicated. It's nuts to see. Like all the boys in like the pick like in our teams and like in other teams like we do like 2 hours a day. There are other teams that are doing like 4 hours a day. I've heard rumors of people doing 6 hours a day, and I'm like, dude, I don't know where they get the time. Like they just grind. And it's like,
see, I mean, that brings us back to that whole like quality versus quantity thing that we were talking about before. But like, you know, it's
what's better.
Yeah. Like it goes to show, like we got through trials. Like we were kind of like the underdogs throughout the entire thing, and then
still the underdogs. Dude.
managed to make it into contenders, and then you know we took 2 maps against Masterminds, like arguably one of the better teams in contenders.
Literally today.
And
for what?
So I don't know.
That's what happened. We took 2 maps against them today.
Yeah, true. But
anyway, let's not lose it. Let's bring it in, dude. Let's bring it in. That is what happened. Masterminds were the runners-up last season. Yes, they have a new team, but
yeah, but still,
we took it to them. I think like the boys were like we were upset we didn't get the win. Like we were 2-1 up. It was a bit upsetting. Like that and to be honest, like I take the blame for like that Gibraltar map. I haven't taught them how to play that properly. We just got shit on. And it's like I didn't have anything in the back of my mind that I could teach them really quickly, and I panicked and told them to run something that's just silly.
But still, we just got
pumped.
it kind of goes to show you how good like we really are as a team, and especially in such a short amount of time, like they do truly indeed like have a lot of talent, and on top of that, they're working extremely hard to play at that top level as well, which is even better.
Yeah.
So, like, if they keep it up, they're definitely going to go really far.
100%. Like, if we go back season 2, like season 1 might be like it's going to be rough from here on out. We got Darksided, we got Kanga, Serenity. Let's see what happens with Serenity. I think we can probably take them. Darksided and Kanga, we can still take good maps off them. Possibly beat Kanga. I've got faith in that. I think we've got to be really careful and work really hard about it. But the underdog status is massive for us because it gives us it's an advantage for sure. Yeah. Anyway, we've gone way off track. I don't know how we got to this place, dude. I don't know how we got to this place.
It's all kind of relevant, you know?
It is, 100%. I got like we'll jump back into that kind of stuff in later episodes for sure, dude.
Yeah, 100%. Definitely.
I suppose another big one, and this is actually your question, but I'm going to steal it because I ran out of questions.
Don't do it.
What kind of community did, like, going into this, like, yes, obviously you kind of gone into this and you're like, you want to be a player.
You're actually stealing this from me right now?
100%, dude. 100%. I don't, shouldn't have told me your questions before we got into this bad boy. Obviously, you're coming into this, you want to be a player first. Once if it doesn't work out being a player, obviously you're always going to be a co-owner. That's why we started this thing.
Yeah.
To give, like, not just you, but like even like, to be honest, we kind of started this thing to give like our mates an avenue into like this life for the ones that wanted to take it, and then that kind of dwindled away, and it's just you and me left, which is fine. I'm completely fine with that, to be honest.
Yeah, it's not for everyone.
That's it. It is like for people out there who like think esports is just like a casual day with your mates. It's like you should see some of the schedules these people deal with, but like.
Yeah, a lot of these people work harder than, most people do at their 9-to-5 job. Like,
easily.
In their off time, so.
You're not getting paid for anything. Well, most of the time you're not getting paid for much. There is some money. There's obviously money in the line at the top leagues, but going through like Open Div and, there's amateur leagues, there's nothing.
Yeah.
There's nothing. It's just a grind. But either way, going into this whole thing, what was the kind of goal or the community that you wanted to build, like around PIXL? Like, what was the point of PIXL? Like, what did you want to do with it?
This is so my question, dude.
Yeah, but you've got to answer it because I asked it, so it's fine. Please proceed, good sir.
I mean, the community I wanted to build was one that was like a lot more, I guess, sizable in comparison to like NA or Europe or Korea or anything like that. Like, their culture around gaming is huge. Like, it's in Australia, I feel like it's not like a normal thing still. People kind of think about it like, you go tell your parents like, oh, I want to be a professional esports player in like, game A, game B, game C, whatever. And they say like, they don't really believe you or trust that you can make it, or they're skeptical about the entire scene in general.
Yeah, that I get. And
yeah, the culture is very different here than it is in America, where the gaming culture in general is just a lot bigger. And that's a kind of culture I want to build here in Australia as well. Is one where, like, you can go out and tell people that you're a professional esports player and not have to really, be worried about what they're going to say or anything like that. I mean, you shouldn't anyway, but
it's there. It happens.
Yeah. The culture in general is just very like small-minded towards esports in general, and that's something I want to change.
Yeah, I guess be like that bridge.
Yeah.
Yeah, and even like going back to what you're saying, where it's like you don't have to worry about what they're gonna say. Like, I remember when we first started, and I was gonna post it on like a Facebook page and show like everyone we knew, It took me 12 hours to press post because I was freaking out.
Hmm.
But like honestly, for like everyone that actually is having that kind of little struggle or like a little battle in their own mind about should they say something online or should they post this online, because it's like it's not the norm. It's a little bit embarrassing for yourself. Like I know some people on like the Overwatch team like struggle with like people looking at them and being like, the fuck are you doing with your weekends? Like, why do you spend 2 hours playing a game and then another 2 hours on, you know what I mean? Like do another 2 hours then training on the weeks, and it's just like,
Yeah, so that,
makes no
like some
sense.
people don't. Yeah, some people don't really understand it. It's um, and like in saying that as well, some people will say like, "Oh no, but you have no social life." Whereas like a lot of these people, like a lot of their friends, are playing these games as well.
Mm.
That's what they like to do, and with their time, they want to go out. They want to, sorry, stay in and play games with the friends that they've made online, and that should be fine. That should be, you know, um, like fair enough. Like if they want to do that, they can do it.
Yep.
But a lot of people see that as just like a waste of time, and I don't know. I don't see it as something that's a waste of time.
Yeah, I agree. 100% agree with you. There's like the other thing as well is like, one of the things that's kind of happened is I've become a bit more social in my normal life because of this. It's like, so one, I now come home and I'm instantly social with people that's not just in my direct family, because I'm going to training, I'm helping the boys, and so I've made really good friends with them. And then it's like I leave and it's like I still, it's different. It's not, I'm not just sitting here playing games like in matchmaking with my mic on mute. It's like I'm actually discussing things with people, and so then I go back to the real world and it's like my professional language in the banks has improved because of the way I talk, and it's like my professional language towards coaching people who are less experienced than me in the bank has improved, and running training sessions is increasingly, like, incredibly improved because that's what I do at home anyway. So it's like there's different benefits to it, but people don't get it.
Yeah.
And so 100% where you're coming from. And I think a lot of people will understand that for sure. There'll be a lot of people that look at that and be like, I don't tell anyone that I have an in-game name, or like I have a separate Instagram for my gaming, or like I don't tell anyone I've got a Twitch, because I don't really want people to know, but I want to be big on Twitch before they know.
So yeah, like that's like one of the reasons, kind of like that I chose the name Just Glenn. I wanted my name in there because like a lot of people have in-game names where they just make whatever name and that's their name. It's fair enough. You can do that if you want. But like I've had like a lot of like in-game names beforehand that have had literally nothing to do with anything. Just random stuff that I like in, a TV show, or like some word that means something else in a different language or something like that. Like, I'll just use random in-game names for multiple different things. And eventually I just said like, screw it, I'm just going to make it Just Glenn. And because I feel like that kind of suits like what it is or what like I want to do. Like, I'm doing like Twitch streams and stuff like that, and it's just me. It's like,
Yeah.
and it has been for like a while, like until like you and I started this. But I don't think, like, I don't know, I didn't feel like I should have had like a different name, something that doesn't really like convey who I am or whatever. But you know, like if people want to search me up on social media or something, like, or any of my friends want to do that, like I can just say, yeah, that's my name. Like, just look it up and
just look it up. It's
it's
Just Glenn.
same with people like online. I don't care if people know my actual name. Like,
Yeah.
like I couldn't care less.
Yeah.
Like if they want to know that my name's Glenn, then I don't really care.
Doesn't phase
They
you.
can just call me. They can just call me Glenn in game.
Yeah. Oh, that's
So
fair enough. That's fair enough. And you make some good points. It's like it's not like, for example, most of the people on like once you join a team, like a proper team, and you actually really get involved. It's like you learn people's names anyway. You
Yeah.
friend them on Facebook. You get to points where you're like, I can't wait to meet you all, like shit like that.
Yeah.
So,
I feel like when you finally meet each other in person, like you don't want to be calling each other like your in-game names.
oh,
But
I'm 100%
like,
calling them their in-game name. I
why?
can't wait to meet
I want
Virginia and be like,
Virginia.
Virginia! And just scream it across the park, dude.
See, I want to learn. I want to learn everyone's name. I want to, like, you know.
Yeah, I feel it. I feel it.
But
It's just it's like it's no longer a place where like people go to hide. You know what I mean? Or like it kind of still is here, but you know we're kind of getting outside of that now.
Yeah.
Or hoping to anyway. But no, I think like there's. I think we both got very similar. Well, I think yours is like I don't know. Yours is that was very nice actually. It's like a very good thing to do, like a kind of pioneer thing for the industry. Like there's not. There are definitely some people trying to do that. I think they're kind of trying to do it in more of a business sense though. I don't really
Yeah.
see.
I definitely think there's some people that are doing it like a lot better um, than what I am or what we are at the moment. Like, um, it doesn't mean that we can't improve and get better and eventually do it better than what they are. Um,
Yeah.
like something we both said when we first started PIXL as well was like what we wanted to do with the brand that we'd create and the company that we'd create was look after the players first. You know,
Yeah.
players come first, we come second. That's always like what we wanted to come across with whenever we signed in a new team or new players. Um, we want them to know that like whatever happens, like they come first, they get paid first, they get they get our time whenever they need it.
Yeah.
We want to be here for them and support them in any way we possibly can. And like that's something we wanted to do. And some organizations just don't do that. They say like, here's the contract. You have to do this, this, and this. If you don't do it, you're out of the team, or you don't do it, we won't pay you, or you won't get this or that.
Yeah.
And that's kind of it. Like, there's not like a huge like support.
Network.
Yeah,
It's
it's
yeah.
very like as you said, it's very like it's focused on business more than it is on
Yeah.
growing
It's
the players. And
how much Twitter engagement can you get us?
yeah, it's
I've heard that one a fair bit thrown around, where some teams are just they don't really care about like how the team actually performs or like the mental state of them, because like at the end of the day, it's all like it's very big mental state kind of thing, like esports obviously, but some orgs like they don't. I know I've got people who've told me it's like no, it was pretty toxic, didn't like it. They were like busting me because I didn't post enough or I didn't make enough videos. Like I've heard it once or twice. I've not been like I've probably not been around enough to be like, you know, to be like name and shame people. Obviously, I'm not going to do that. I don't. I've just heard of it happening.
yeah.
Realistically, but yeah, definitely. And I think like the team before. I know it's kind. I guess it's kind of like a team before the brand thing we got going on, or that we're trying to do anyway. Is like, the players and like for example, even the Overwatch team, we've made some changes. We did swap people out in like week 1, kind of thing. Where we had people who couldn't play or didn't want to play anymore. Like Willman, for example. I'll make Willman. He got us, did a lot of work, got us into like helped get us into contenders. After his stint in week 1, which was very unfortunate, he lagged out in the game. He was pretty upset about that. Not his fault. Wasn't the reason that we kicked him, or like we were going to kick him. He basically said, "I don't want to do it anymore. Like I don't want to play. I don't feel like I'm good enough." We just straight away, I just offered him analyst straight away. I didn't wait around. I was just like, "Look, if you still want to be involved, 100% would have you as an analyst." And he's doing awesome work. Like he's been filling out spreadsheets, been watching VODs. he's been doing different things. He's trying to learn different roles to better help like Exerst and Jewboy.
Yeah.
Doing great stuff. Same with Nathan. Nathan knows he's been put on sub. Was one of the first things I did was I put him on sub to give Bad a shot on off tank, and Nathan's now one of the coaches. Probably like probably yesterday was his first time. Monday was his first time doing like a proper coaching session with me, and he was awesome. Like I don't know if he just probably sat around for a little bit listening, kept the guy like it was one of our longest scrim sessions ever. Kept the guys pumped, gave them advice, calmed people down who were tilted, and now he's come out of this and he's basically said I know how to do some graphic design work, and he's at this very moment helping me out with that because like it's a lot of work and he's very good at it, and so it's still like we're still giving people roles. Like we don't want to leave people on the side of the road.
Yeah.
Which is even Quack Cocaine used to be on the roster, wanted to step down. Instead of getting rid of him completely, we just moved him to sub, kept him all the chats, comes and plays still from time to time. I see him in there from time to time.
Yeah, he does. He comes and plays with the team every now and then.
So, you know, we definitely like that's how, like we've only got a few examples. We're still new, and like yeah, I don't know if it'll ever get to a point where we can't. We might not be able to help everyone, but
like I don't want anyone to like if anyone does leave, or we move anyone out or anything like that. I don't want anyone to like feel that they've been cheated in any way, or you know, that they leave the organization hating us or anything like that, because that would suck. Like that would suck knowing that they feel that way towards us, and you know, that's not something I want. It is a shit experience. Like not only for us but for them as well. I don't want them to feel that way. So
yeah, 100%. I 100% get what you're saying.
If that's something that we can take out of this organization, then like that would be perfect.
Yeah,
definitely.
Like as much as like I think at the end of the day we can both agree with like we also want to be able to make money off this and make it like our full-time jobs.
Yeah,
kind
sure.
of organize people, pay people some good wages in the industry. I think at the end of the day, that's probably what's always going to come first in our heads. Hopefully, anyway. I hope that never kind of leaves, because that was kind of what this is. I guess that's what kind of where we're starting to found this on almost.
Yeah, and
we can like definitely see that like even when obviously we got into Overwatch contenders with some shady things that went on, which is unfortunate.
Yeah, but it is.
Like even you know Snowball Esports did like an awesome article with Wheel and Jewboy, and it's like that article kind of like basically says like shows how close the guys are. And I know they've been together for a while and before they came to us and stuff like that, but still, I just think it shows kind of a lot of what we're about, and like Jewboy goes into like some very specific things about how that day was when we finally found out we were into like contenders. Like that was like pretty much a magical moment for like a lot of the guys, and it's like you don't really show that kind of raw emotion if you don't feel comfortable enough with them. If you haven't, I'll try and link that in the description below. It's a good article. It's a good article to have a look at, for sure.
Definitely do it.
And I suppose the last question, man. Again, this was your question. I'm going to steal it again. What are
have you even answered any of these questions yourself?
Not at all. No, I've just moved on. What are the goals within the next? I've kind of answered the questions. Come on, man.
I mean, not the start ones, but alright.
Not the start ones. We've just kind of pumped through. That's okay. I'll live. I'll live. What are your goals within the next year? Kind of a tough one because obviously we've only been doing this for like probably 2 months now.
Yeah. It's kind of hard to like judge where we're gonna be. Where we're gonna be. It's more like where we'd like to be, I guess. But
yeah, I suppose it's like what's almost like the dream 1 year result. I guess.
I mean, like I don't want to overreach or anything like that, but
bro, I'm going to.
Like years time.
2019 in August.
years time. Oh, I mean, we're in July now.
Oh, fuck yeah,
Yeah,
July.
that's awkward. That's awkward.
Leave me it's 1 in the morning. Leave me alone, bro.
Jeez, dude. Years time, I reckon possibly looking at contenders, top 4.
Contenders top 4 for the OW
Yeah.
team.
Yep.
That's big.
That's
Don't
big.
don't put any pressure on me, bro.
I mean,
You need a new coach if that's what's gonna happen.
you better make it, or gonna have to look at a new co-owner.
Whoa! What?
No, I'm joking.
I was like expecting the new coach to come out, but Jesus.
No.
That's effort, dude. That's effort.
I'm joking.
You're not.
Um,
Low key, you're not.
Nah, dude. Look, if you don't make it, you don't make it. It's fine. It's okay. You tried your best, Chris.
You tried your best, but we're just gonna go a different direction for now, and we might cross paths again.
Look, I'll buy you out. All right.
Jesus. And what about like for the business Fortnite? Are we getting new teams? What do you reckon?
I don't know, because Fortnite's still kind of young. It's I don't know exactly where it's going to go. Like Epic Games have come out and said that they want to go in the direction of like solos and duos.
Not squads.
Not squads. Oh, they'll still do squads, but there's not going to be as much focus.
Okay.
Which I kind of disagree with.
Yeah.
Because the less people that are playing, the more RNG the game is, essentially.
Yeah, I get you.
But I guess there is more action. I think there's a lot more strategy in squads, which I think just makes it better for competitive play in general.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I don't really agree with it at all. But if that's the way it goes, then we'd still keep like a squad of 4 on the team, but split up the team into groups of 2 for the duos, and then everyone can compete solo if they really want to as well.
Yeah, okay.
So we'd still have a team of 4, but we'd just be looking at playing a lot differently to how we're playing now. So it's still young. Don't know exactly where it's going to go. But I don't know. I'd like to enter some tournaments, see if there's any kind of competitive mode, I guess, that Epic brings out. Because at the moment they've got nothing. It's literally all community run. You go up against other teams in the community. They're also run by like organizations and stuff like Mindfreak and Avant and
yeah, Mindfreak's been doing. I've seen a lot of the Mindfreak ones.
Yeah. So all that is community driven. None of it's held by Epic. None of it's funded by Epic. So it'd be interesting to see like what Epic decide to do to kind of say like, yeah, here are the top players. These players get to go to the tournaments or the LANs or whatever, and these ones don't or whatever.
What kind of structure they're going to put into it, really?
Yeah, they pretty much come out saying that they don't want. I think they said that they don't want organizations to be at the forefront of competitive play. They want the players to be at the forefront, which is still fine. Like that, we can still own a Fortnite team and pay them to play and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, okay. It's just,
but,
I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah, I know. It'll be interesting. I have a feeling that they might eventually backtrack just because...
almost doesn't make sense.
Yeah, that, and there's like a lot of teams you know, a lot of teams, a lot of organizations across the world that would definitely rather squad play and have their team at the forefront of the game itself and
gotcha.
everything like that. So they'd be under a lot of pressure to actually do that. But
I feel like there'd be a lot more depth in like squad play compared to like solos and duos. It's like
there is
solos and duos just feels like basically a gunfight most of the time. But then squads is like you've just
at the moment it's just like explosions and grenades, and it's just whoever has the most explosives wins at the moment.
I saw who do I see? It might have been
that's across solos, duos, and squads. That's kind of silly, but
it's all the same. Yeah, fair enough. I'm pretty sure I remember like seeing either Hype or Serpent like pretty much just flaming in like our Discord, talking about how bad C4 was.
Yeah, it's terrible. It was strong before. So when they first brought it out, it was pretty crappy. Like no one would ever use it. Then they buffed it to a point where you could take out like an entire house with like 2 C4. Wow. And then that was like kind of strong, but for some reason people still weren't really using it. They didn't know what applications to use it in, all that sort of stuff. So Epic decided to buff it again. No idea why. They just thought, oh yeah, no one's really using it, let's buff it again. So now C4 is at this point where it's ridiculously overpowered, and Epic still haven't reverted the changes. And instead they buffed rocket launchers and grenade launchers by making it so that they destroy walls and platforms that aren't in their line of sight. For a lot of people won't really understand what that means, but it's just means like an explosion can destroy like a wall that's
like behind another wall.
Behind another wall, yeah.
Right, okay, I getcha. Like an interior wall.
Yeah, kind of thing, which...
Yeah, gotcha.
Kind of sucks as well, but...
I mean, we kind of veered away from that question, but like, so real quick...
yeah, it did.
Let's try this one more time. So what would be your goal? Like, what's the goal for PIXL in like a year? Like not like less specific to Fortnite. More just brand wise. Let's say brand wise and team like
brand wise. Branching out into different games. You know, maybe CS:GO, League of Legends. You know, something like that maybe. Like definitely build up a bigger following across all social media. I don't know. I don't know how long it takes to build up like social media in general, like, you know, across like Twitter or something like that. I see a lot of organizations that have like 10,000 followers or you know, something like that. I'm not sure I'm not too sure how long it would take to build up a following, something like that. But you know, years time from now, I wouldn't mind like, you know, a goal of maybe 1,000 or 2,000 followers. Like I think that's reasonable.
Yeah, I feel you.
What else? What about you? What are your goals?
Pretty much the same, dude. I definitely see what you mean when it's like 12,000, 12 to like 20. 20 is probably the highest I've seen within Australia. I think that might be Mind Freak. But yeah, definitely sort of. I think obviously it's going to take us a lot longer to get there. Even to like 1,000, I'm sort of hoping we can get to like. I mean, this might be a bit greedy, but I want to try and get to at least like 6 in a year. Like this time next year, it's like 6K would be pretty spot on. I'd like to get. I think I'd like to get like within that time frame as well, like a sponsor to kind of help out the guys a bit. Like whether it just be like mouse pads and keyboards and maybe a headset like that, like the peripherals kind of stuff. I want to be able to go to like Prowler at the moment, who's, from what I understand, his setup is basically worse than my laptop. And he's playing in contenders, and it's like if I could give him some, if I could give him some better stuff, that'd be great. Like I'd love to do that, but at the moment, obviously, money we're kind of pouring in is going towards, stuff for the future, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So it'd be great to be able to be like, because we did all that, now we don't have to do it as much later. And we can just focus on getting the guys some good stuff. I think that's where I'd like to be in like a year. Definitely in a few different, like, have our names out in a few different things. That, like, League, definitely a big one. CSGO, if that's still around, probably will. It's massive. Even Rocket League would be one that I'd love to get involved in as well. And doing the kind of the same thing we did, like the Overwatch League, the Overwatch team, sorry, and kind of starting from like a mid-level team, and just developing them into like this basically monstrosity. Like that's what I'd like to do. Not that we have a monstrosity team as of yet. We're pretty. I feel like we're pretty large, but there's still some room for improvement. But kind of like I would love to be known for like developing all these players as well, and them coming, like people coming to us being like, this, my mate played for you like a year ago. He's now still playing for you, and you guys are in like the top league. Like let me be coached by someone in there, and like we just have like a staff of coaches who are just incredible at what they do, or like having like a support network altogether that we can support, as well as them like sorting out teams, like sorting people we've got. Like there's a lot of good managers in OCE. There's a lot of good people who like willing to put in a lot of good time, but I think you've definitely got to sort of search for the right ones.
Yep.
Definitely kind of treat them well, so that they can treat the players as well as we would. But obviously it's not possible if we've got 10 different teams in 10 different esports. Like we specialize in 2. Yeah. So I'd like to have definitely more teams, but with more support staff around them, so that we can just turn people into monstrosity players and give them the nice things that they deserve for working so hard.
Yep.
100%.
Yeah, I agree.
So that's where I'm at. But yeah, I think that's all my questions. Is anything else you want to say?
I mean,
at the moment?
I wouldn't mind if you answered the other questions that you got me to answer.
No, we got no time for that, guys. Thank you very much for the PIXL podcast. No, I'm kidding, dude. Go ahead. That was so rude, dude.
Well, all right. At least let me let me ask you this one question, all right?
Throw me some.
Well, no, only because I think it's kind of important just to kind of get a grasp of like who we are, and where we came from, and all that sort of stuff. Just so people know. So like, how did you start gaming, and how did you get into esports?
How did I start gaming? Gaming's kind of always around in my life. I think because I've got a brother who's a little bit older than us. So he was always pretty into it. My dad was always pretty into it. So it's kind of just a generational thing. I've never not known a time when there wasn't games. But I think the biggest one started with like Tekken on the PlayStation 1. I just got to a point where I'd played it so much that no one in my family could beat me, none of my friends could beat me. I was a god in my eyes. I was a god. No one ever beat me. Until I went on a holiday to like Queensland, and I made a friend who his parents, I think he might have lived in the hotel, and so he had a PlayStation there, and like my mum let me go over to his place, and we played some Tekken, and he demolished me. Like I would have been like 6 maybe, and he just like he put me in the bin. Like I didn't want to play Tekken after that.
Got destroyed.
Like, I can't emphasize how good I thought I was, and how much this kid just drove me into the ground, and I couldn't believe it. It was like a bronze player basically thinking they're grandmaster. Like that's how I felt. And And from there, I was like, I kind of was like, wow, I hate gaming. It made me feel terrible. And at the time, I was, you know, big, like decent sized kid in sports, like playing soccer. Um, so I kind of was on and off with gaming. Never really did anything competitive for a long time, like casual things, you know, like Crash Bandicoot, Spyro, the good old classics. But soccer was always the biggest thing in my life, and that's where my competitive drive always came from. So esports I wasn't involved in for a long time, and then it wasn't until probably last year I wasn't playing reps anymore, just playing with like a bunch of mates in like a Premier League team, like a local Premier League team. And I was like a goalkeeper. I broke my wrist really badly in one game, like snapped it. Went to the doctors. Doctors like, unless you get surgery, you'll never play. Like you'll never goalkeep again, kind of thing. Like one of those old things. And I was like, oh, all right. So I all of a sudden had nothing to be competitive in anymore. Couldn't even really play on the field because if it bends too far back, it just snaps again. So I think I kind of just threw myself into trying to grind out Overwatch because that was like the only competitive game I was only like okay in. I think the highest I ever got was like 3-2, 3-3, something like that. And then it got to the point where I was like, look, I kind of thought I suck at playing the game. None of my mates really play it. I'm not really that good at it. But I always kind of felt like I understood it. So eventually I kind of trolled around like the discords that you had kind of told me about back in like the Overwatch World Cup days when it was back here in Australia. I basically just asked someone called CC, who's like a massive part of like this whole journey. I basically asked him, I was like, look, how do you become he was working for Ocular at the time and he was looking for a VOD recorder, I think. I basically DM'd him. I was like, man, how does someone become a coach? Like, how does that happen? What do I need to know? And he pretty much said, what's your SR? And I told him, he's like, yeah, you'll never be a coach because your SR is too low. No one will ever take you seriously. I was like, oh, that sucks. All right, well,
Rip.
look, because you helped me, I'll VOD record for you for like a week or something. And within the first night, I gave them so many tips, like pieces of advice, that they basically just said, you can be the new coach. Because there were so many things that went wrong in that first scrim I ever saw. They got completely destroyed by some GM team. I don't even know who they were at the time. And then basically CC moved on to Alter Ego, and with Jake OCE, Fortnite streamer now, Nectar, rest in peace to the band, and Clickbait, best manager OCE. But pretty much, so I went there, did a VOD record for them, basically admitted to Jake, I was like, look, I don't really know what I'm doing. I can give you pieces of advice, but I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm not a coach at the moment. I was still pretty devastated by what I was told. Jake said, look, let's give it a go, see what you can say. The whole time I just told them that their communication was bad. And they were like, look, you can be an analyst as long as you keep coming and recording our games. And I was like, sure, sounds good. And just over time I got really good at being an analyst. Still turn up to every training session, recorded all their games, told them what they should play, told them what they were kind of doing right and wrong. First time I met Avril, who kind of gave me my very first insight into what a proper VOD review was. And now I only VOD review like he does, because it's the only way I know how. But it works. I think it works pretty well. I mean, he's pretty respected within the Overwatch community, obviously. Even though at the time he had no idea who I was. Not like no one had any idea who I was. Eventually Alter Ego was in Contenders Season 1 and they just imploded. People kept getting poached. I think we got a lot of good players from OpenDiv who just went to other places, like a Kraken, who was last season got poached by Sydney Drop Bears and they ended up winning the whole thing. So we just couldn't hold on to our players, which was terrible. And eventually CC left them because he couldn't really help with the management side of things anymore. And I wasn't doing anything. By this point, we had another coach called Rekka, or Coach Bryce now, who was a great coach. Like, gave me a good insight into what like it actually means to coach a team. And so I moved down to OpenDiv and actually coached a team properly for about a week and a half before Jam Gaming picked me up with Whipley. well, I owe a lot of respect to Jam Gaming and Whipley. The first thing I did was I walked in and did a VOD review
Did you
with them.
walk in
I walked straight in there, dude. Spread the jam, hashtag.
with your own 2 legs?
Alright, you need to quit that. Let me tell my story.
All right,
um,
go on.
but yeah, so I basically went in there, did a VOD review for them. They liked me enough to keep me on for a little bit longer. I think one of the first things I ever did was basically help the team kick too many of their players and then have to pick up more. I actually was the person that kicked Prowler, who's now on our team. Well, I didn't kick him. I helped kick him. I helped make the decision.
Interesting development.
Yes, it was. It was. He didn't like me for a while there, but we cleared things up. We got no beef. We love each other now. But yeah, that kind of happened, and that's pretty much like from there. It kind of just moved on and kept going. And then I think towards the start of season 2 open div, I turned around and thought, as much as I love coaching, I put so much work into all the boys and like Liga Rules, Sleep Easy, Crimson. So it was actually really devastating when I turned around and decided to like make my own thing. Not because I didn't like the way it was run or anything like that. Like Jam Gaming is an awesome organization. Like if you ever got a chance to go with Jam Gaming, 100% do it. Talk to the owner, Chris. He's a great guy. But I just kind of felt like I needed to do my own thing. Like I still learning about the esports scene for sure. But I don't know. I just kind of was like, I don't think I never really thought I was a good enough coach to ever like make money off it or go somewhere with it. Like go into the Overwatch League, there are people doing a lot more work than me. And so I was kind of like, well, I might not be the best coach, but I think I could run a pretty good organization and help other people get really good coaching, and bring people up and help my friends as well get into the whole thing, because they were always pretty fascinated by the fact that I was spending my nights coaching random people in a game that they knew I wasn't great at.
And they all play games as well, like all the time, like every single night they're on. Might not be like one particular game, but they're always playing.
So, exactly right, and that's pretty much pretty much the life story, how I got into it all. Now we're here. Now we're here doing our first PIXL podcast.
Yes, we are.
And yeah. Do you have any more questions for me, my man?
No, I mean, I think that was like the main one that I think we just need to get through.
Yeah, for sure. I agree. Alrighty, then we'll end it here. For those that made it, we appreciate it.
We got off topic a few times. My bad.
Just a few.
But
I didn't think we'd like kick off that well. I thought we'd just smash through the questions and end it.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. How long was it? In like over an hour.
Yeah,
so
I'm up to an hour and 8 minutes. That's a good podcast. Maybe we should shorten that down somehow.
Yeah,
Next time we'll get better. For those that lasted, thank you very much. We appreciate it.
Yes, thank you.
But yeah, so thank you for watching the first episode. There will be many more to come. Still holding these pegs, Glenn.
We'll try at least once a week. Maybe more.
Hopefully, my hope is more than once a week. But at the same time, none of us really know how to edit, so you get raw footage.
This is true.
And that goes back to the whole quality over quantity thing. But we'll try. We'll see what happens. Maybe we just get better as time goes on.
Yeah.
For sure.
Definitely.
Alrighty, my friends. Have a wonderful day, a wonderful night. I'm out.
Thanks, guys.